when you are from the public, our language of communication was basically Yoruba. Everything we do was Yoruba. So it's not like you say speaking. We do speak Igbo like from your parents, from your guardians, but the major language of communication is Yoruba. So it makes some of us very versed in Yoruba language, very, very versed. So much that you see an Igbo person is sometimes it will be difficult to differentiate him from the Yoruba speaking people. So it was like that. So that was why the language was of a shock one time. So I found out that, man, I've been so disconnected from people, from my own people. So that was why I really appreciate my going to this. You know, it helped me a lot. And
Yeah,
now I'm also thinking the same thing for my children. They have to take their time go to this. It's going to help them a lot.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. You're right. The connection is something that
Mm.
whether you start now, you start later. At the point in life, you're going to understand that you need to make the connection because that is a human
Yeah,
journey.
yeah. Mm.
But now you are deeply
Yes, we
rooted
do.
among your tradition and also the way of life of the Igbo people of your
Very,
people, right?
very, very well. Very now we call it age of awareness. I'm in my age of awareness, environment, people, and culture. So those days you want to identify yourself with a different culture. And our culture was Yoruba culture. You don't know, you don't belong there. You don't. You are an Igbo. You belong to the Igbo culture, you know. That was the wrong understanding we had way back. Yeah, because for you to for you to belong to the system, environmental system, or the cultural system of place of residence, yeah, you have to assume originality of everything that had to do with the people. So that was why we did all that. Like I have my younger ones, many of them are in the East now. In those days, you can never believe they are Igbo because they were so accustomed to the environmental system, the gangsterism of Lagos lifestyle, the madness of Lagos, the language, the rascality. Then only few of us were a little engaged in studying Yoruba in my high school. I paid close attention to learn deeper. Okay. But later in life I found that yes, as good as it were, you don't belong there. So when you get to the age of awareness, when we get there, we have to do everything we can to get accustomed as quickly as possible to our own people. So that made me, I was frequenting village from school. Every holiday I go to the village to make sure that I learn as fast as possible those things that I have missed in my earlier age, as a teenager in the high school. So the same thing applied to a lot of us, not only me. People in my age category now that had that experience in Lagos, all of them today, they are in the age of awareness. So they're trying to transfer that to their children also to make sure that they are not disconnected. Because if you're disconnected as you grow, you'll find out that you are completely cut off. The people where you have thought you belong, you find out that you don't belong there. You don't. You belong to place of your nativity. That is where you're originally from in Nigeria. That's it. Thank you.
Very interesting. I also like the way you refer to it as the age of awareness. All right. So if you, my
Yeah,
curiosity
yeah,
now is that
yeah.
you were living within Nigeria and you had this cultural shock. You have this revival, as it were. No,
Yeah,
it become very important for you. What would you say to
yeah.
the Nigerians in the diaspora? Because that is
Uh,
an argument we are moving into just now. Those that were born in Europe and have lived all their life
ah,
here, or maybe in America or in other parts. So, what would what was your reaction to that in terms of this age of awareness?
uh, let me just tell you, Nigerian in diaspora is a different ball game. You know, I'm also a member of the diaspora, and good enough for me, I was a diaspora leader, so I happen to have seen a lot. I happen to have come across a lot. a lot, and I see a lot of disconnectivity from the diaspora to the homestead. Let me just say this, I live in Asia, China precisely. I have to tour other Asian countries, you know, and I frequent home almost every year. For over 10 years, I was going home every year. Sometimes even when ticket fees as high as the heaven, I managed to buy. I wasn't buying the ticket because I had all the money. There was this news, this there was this news which I'm going to tell you. If you miss it, you miss it. If you miss home, you miss it. Once you're disconnected, you're disconnected. It's not about the money now, it's about you as an individual. So one of our auntie, she approached me and said, wow, I really like your lifestyle. I said, oh, on what ground? He said, the way you come home is not the way other people. So we have acquaintances, friends, family members who left the country for the past 20 years, 15 years, 18 years, 17. They've never for once returned home. Either they've made the money or they've not made the money or they have papers or not or whatsoever. I don't know. And a lot of folks used to think I have a lot of money. I said, no, it's not the money. What I am doing is trying to get myself rooted with my people and not be disconnected because of the fantasy of overseas environment. Everything is beautiful. There's electricity. There's everywhere. Like in China, in China, you can walk like in a whole city in some of Chinese big cities without stepping on the sand. Everywhere is pretty. Everywhere is so beautiful. So I say this is fantasy. If you live on this, when you are grown, you will find out that you are completely off. I mean, as an individual, you have no home, you have no people. That if you're staying in France and you speak French, or you live in America and you Americanize yourself, one day the Americans or the French will tell you, my friend, you don't belong here. You belong to your people. And when you come, if you're fortunate to come to your people and you find that every person distances himself or herself from you, you will die before your time. See that? Only few understand this. And let me give you a clear picture. While in the East, my father used to harbor a lot of people. I'm from a polygamous home. So I witnessed two major returnees. One of them is a prof from France, a university in France. I don't know what problem he had with the wife. The wife kicked him away, and then he found himself back to Nigeria. This is a man who left the country in the 70s. So when he came back to Nigeria, there's nothing. The white woman has taken back everything from him. Man, the only thing that showed that he came from overseas was the hair and the skin, looking fresh and all that. But he has nothing. No cultural relation, no family, nothing. No identity. Yes, you are a prof, accept that. It's easy for him to get a teaching job then in the school, but as at then, the Nigerian educational system is all a different ball game. The school didn't accept him as his professorship, so he had to defend it. To cut the story short, they gave him a junior, they take him in as a junior lecturer for him to really get, you know. So what I'm saying, you see, the kind of recycle, is it a recycle? What do I call it? The lifetime,
The journey actually.
the journey of a cycle that you have to come back to. Do you know my father and the sisters and other family, they had to come together, get him a small room where students used to stay. They put him in the room. His clothes, the clothes he left in the 70s. They brought out some box. In the 70s, people used to wear what they call baggy bongo trousers. So I said, they had to put on those blazers, those jackets, those old jackets. They had to look for him a young wife. They had to start the life all anew. Okay. That is from France.